Hi, I'm Rob O'Donnell. I'm with Rockefeller University Press. We're a small press. We publish only 3 journals: Journal of Cell Biology, Journal of Experimental Medicine, and Journal of General Physiology. We are small, and we're not an AMA or an Elsevier, so my story might sound a little different than you'll hear from Paul or Brad. Our goal is to provide a good experience for users browsing content, our latest content, even when offline. So this story starts in 2010 when smartphone sales are really skyrocketing and the iPad was released, and there are predictions everywhere that mobile is taking over the world. And then we start to see mobile browsers showing up in our usage stats. It's a small number, but we expect it to grow. At the same time, other journals and publishers are releasing mobile products, and we realize that our users are coming to our sites on phones from references in these other products. And things look pretty crappy on our sites with our full sites displaying on a phone. So we knew we needed a solution. So because these users were already arriving, we realized first priority has to be mobile optimized sites. Highwire has a good solution there. It's quick and easy to implement. It looks really great. So that was an easy decision, and we got started on that development. But we also realized that mobile optimization wasn't quite enough. Loading full articles in a phone's web browser is slow and awkward, as you all probably know, and it's also not available offline. And so we're based in New York, and our very New York-centric view of the world, offline browsing or offline use of any app is really required. If you ride the subway, you know that everyone is using a device like this guy here, and nobody has a connection. Also true on a plane. Although Wi-Fi on planes is becoming more widespread, it's still not there, and it's still not free, so many users are not paying for it and do not have a connection on the plane. So our first thought was, all right, we need an offline browsing solution. Let's go with HTML5. We'll cover every device. We quickly realized that caching on HTML5 at that time, at least, was not ready. So we wrote that off, and we didn't need all of the features that HTML5 was promising because, again, we're only looking to deliver our content, our newest content, to devices for good browsing. So we talked a little bit about it in-house. There was some debate over whether or not we needed these apps, and we decided to do a reader survey, see what our readers wanted. And the results were pretty clear. To the question, do you read research articles on your device when you have no internet connection? 93% said they did or they would if that content was available to them. And assuming functionality is similar, do you generally prefer to use native apps or mobile optimized sites accessed via your device's browser? 49% said they prefer native. Now, 33% of the respondents at the time owned iPhones, and of those that own no devices, 52% said they planned on purchasing an iPhone. So we thought our direction was pretty clear. We had an iOS-heavy audience who wanted offline browsing. So we ended up with both mobile optimized and iOS apps for both iPhone and iPad. The survey results combined with vendors citing difficulties in developing for the fragmented Android market just led us to put Android on hold and save some money and wait and see. We launched our mobile optimized sites in February 2011 with Highwire, as I mentioned. The focus there is on readers hitting our sites from other sites and just having a good experience to scan the article. And our full HTML archive was optimized. We launched our iOS apps, again for iPhone and iPad, in December 2011. We worked with Sheridan on those, and as a pilot publisher, we had a major influence on the design and functionality, and we got pretty much exactly what we were looking for. The focus there is on browsing the latest content. In this screenshot here, you can see when the user launches the app, content is automatically downloaded and it's displayed in a reverse chronological order, regardless of whether that article has been published ahead of print or it's in an issue. There is issue browsing available. It's just the press of the button next to the article button, and that preference is saved for the user next time they launch their app. Now, as I said, when you launch the app, all content downloads, full text. It's fully indexed, so we have full search capability from title, authors, abstract, and full text. And because we're downloading so much content, we really decided we needed to give the users control over how much content they wanted to download. So they have controls over cache levels. They can decide if they want full figures, just thumbnails, or no figures, and also retention periods, so anywhere from 30 days to 6 months. And then we have the ubiquitous alerts, badges, sharing, things you would expect in an app. So lessons learned, don't always trust surveys. Our usage is nowhere near what we expected based on the survey results. Right now, after a year and a half, our mobile use is about 4% of our total traffic. It's split about 50-50 between apps and mobile optimized sites. And on the mobile optimized side, about 65% of those users are on iOS. So in that regard, the survey was accurate. We are iOS heavy for sure. So I think that was the right decision. I think, as Bill Matthews said in the mobile session yesterday, you just need to continue to market these things. We did not do a good job of that. So when we launched, we had an email blast, and we posted links on our TOCs, our eTalks, our homepage. We promoted it at a society meeting that occurred about the same time as launch, and then kind of dialed back and stopped doing anything. I think it's really important that we pick that up again. We don't even have links throughout our site to get eyes on the app as users are using our full site, and I think that's really important, and we're focusing on that now. Knowing the usage now, a year and a half in, we probably should have waited on app development, but yeah, it's difficult to quantify the reader perception of being at the forefront of technology. Also, just to note that if you are launching an app with someone who is not your online host, and you require access control, plan ahead, because we hit a lot of roadblocks there in trying to come up with the best and cheapest way of doing so. In fact, we still don't have access control in place, but we will by the end of the year. So our next steps, we're remaining positive. We're expecting continued increase in use. In fact, over the past year, we have increased from 2% to 4%, so we doubled our use, and that trajectory seems to be continuing. So we're optimistic. We're continuing to improve our apps. In fact, next week we're doing our first major release since launch. We're adding streaming video, improved image display, and improved search capability. And we're going to use that as an opportunity to push them, to make a real marketing push again. And we're still waiting on Android development because the use just isn't there to justify it. So going forward, we expect that there'll be a day where we have HTML5 responsive apps, or web apps, and that we'll be able to browse the content and give the user a good experience offline, or that we won't need to do so because connectivity will be so widespread that it's not necessary any longer. And on that note, so while I was preparing these slides and talking about our subway use case, AT&T, T-Mobile, and Boingo announced that they were adding Wi-Fi and cell service to 36 subway stations, and that number is continuing to grow. So I think we're getting there. Thanks.